a badass beat. I did not expect that amount of badassery from a $75 seller. Holy sh**. Today we're going to hire a complete stranger to remix Beethoven's 5th Symphony. So as you guys know, I love remixing classical pieces into modern styles such as Moonlight Sonata, Für Elise, Canon in D, and many more. This is the most ambitious project we're taking on yet. The sponsor of today's video, Fiverr, has challenged me to hire a bunch of musicians to create the most epic remix that humanity has ever heard. So I'm gonna write out this exact same message to all these musicians and see what they can do with my insane piano solo, which I just finished last night. They'll each get the same 2 piano MIDI files, which gives them all of the piano information they need in order to create the next 5th Symphony remix banger. All right, so let's see what we have here. Okay, so this guy is a top-rated seller, Peter Pine, and he looks pretty legit. And this guy has a really good review, so I think we'll go for it, 175. Okay, so this person, Eunice, apparently has more than 10 years of experience. So, wow, let's go for it. Only 100. Lin Galazwardi is gonna be your future bass track ghost producer. Amazing. And this guy, oh my goodness, so cheap. $60? Are you kidding me? For how much work you're gonna be doing, $60 is like child labor almost. Nicholas Chazare, his standard production package is $75. You know what? I like his name. Let's go for it. Wily West. This is the big leagues now. $300 for the platinum pack. This review says, if you want a good quality product, this is your guy. Here we go. This one is a cinematic composer, Faraji 2000. And according to his profile, he is the fastest producer alive. He is literally the Usain Bolt of producing. His standard plan is $95. So how can you not hire this guy? Seriously. Alright guys, this guy might be the top dog in Fiverr, JMP Audio Design. He's not a pro, but he's charging $595 for his high quality label ready EDM song. I'm gonna have to take out a second mortgage for this guy, but let's go for it. So this guy's name is Alice Sahir, and he has 20 years of experience, which is incredible. His basic package is $150. Philip Kratzer. He is a new pro seller, which means he just got verified, and he only has 1 order, which kind of worries me because maybe he hasn't done a lot of work for clients like myself, but I think we'll give him a shot. After all, he is a pro. The basic package is $110. The premium package is $10,000. Are you kidding me? $10,000? I mean, no offense, but if you're on Fiverr, I don't think you can if you're on Fiverr, I don't think you can charge $10,000. Anyways, I think we'll go for the basic package. All right, Poisson Music. $30. It's like, oh my god, $30? That's like the price of like 3 Starbucks drinks. It's not a he, it's a we. We produced music for almost 12 years. If his turns out to be better than the rest of these people charging him more than $100, I'm gonna be pissed. Okay, so now that we've hired all these people, it's time for us to sit back, relax, and wait for them to do all of the hard work. And so once I snap my fingers, we're gonna jump ahead by 2 weeks and see what these sellers come up with, okay? Ready? 3, 2, 1. Okay, it's been a month and I finally got back all the audios from the producers. So the first person we have is Poisson Music, and his was only $30, the cheapest. Let's take a listen. I gotta admit, that was way more than I expected from a $30 seller. A lot of it was a little bit over the top, but it was definitely really good production. So the next one we have is by Lin Galazwardi, okay? And this is for $60. Okay. I like this build-up. Yeah, yes. Okay, so the backing felt a little bit more appropriate this time, but still I feel like there could have been more interplay between the piano and the rest of the arrangement. The piano has more ups and downs, and I feel like the arrangement didn't quite capture that feeling. But still, it was overall a more interesting effort than the first one. Okay, so the next one we have is by Nicholas Chazare for $75, okay? Let's see what Nicholas came up with. I love the bass sounds. Yes. Oh, those twinkly sounds. Yes, yes, yes. This build-up is what I needed. Oh, this is a badass beat. What? I love the game-like sounds in the background. It's like it's in heaven. Oh, that was so badass. Like, I did not expect that amount of badassery from a $75 seller. Holy, it's just that it was just so much better than the other two. Overall, I loved the sounds that he chose, right? He used a lot of rock, metal guitars. He used a lot of video game-like synths, and that created this whole atmosphere that it was like this futuristic kind of, you know, Tron-like feeling. The whole thing just worked together really well. The next one we have is a cinematic / orchestral one, so I'm actually really excited about this one. It's by Faraji 2000, the absolute legend that says that he's the fastest producer in the West. Let's hear it. Oh man, the strings. Oh, I like the war drums. Yes! The vocal chants in the background. Oh my goodness. Okay, so that was really epic for most of it. There was a few parts that I felt like could have been done a little bit better. One thing he definitely locked down was that Hans Zimmer, like Inception style sound. But overall, for $95, you cannot go wrong with this level of epicness. Okay, so the next one we have is by Philip Kratzer for $110. And this one was actually a pro order. So let's see if the Fiverr pros can compete with the rest of these scrubs. I like how sharp those were. Ooh, some pizzicato. Strings. Yes, the brass! Oh. Okay. Wow. So in terms of cinematic quality, that was an absolute 10 out of 10. I think that was easily comparable to some of the greatest film composers out there, like Hans Zimmer and John Williams. I love the instrumentation that he used. The strings were on point. The brass came in at just the right time. There were like woodwind flutters, flute flutters in the top that accompanied the piano perfectly. I love it. So the next one we have is by Eunice Durali, and it's for $100. Let's check it out. I like this beat. It's like a jungle vibe. Yes! love the synth sound. It's so electronic. Okay, that was honestly a solid effort. The beginning was phenomenal. But then once it hit to the drop section, it was like a very basic dun 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 beat. Because of how important the drop was, it kind of punched below its weight in terms of how good it could have been. Now we're getting to the really expensive producers. This next one is Alice Sahir for $150. I like those glockenspiels. Overall, his production was really good, but I feel like the beat that he used for the drop did not match the energy level of the piano track as well as it could have. This is probably one of my least favorite so far. The next one we have is by Peter Pim, and this one is for $175. Okay, this is pretty badass. Okay, so I think that was a phenomenal combination of EDM and orchestral elements. The beat itself felt a little bit stale because it kind of just felt the same the whole time. I think overall this could have been better. This next one is Wily West for $300. I like the strings. Yes! Oh my god. Did you hear that violin in the background? That's epic. That's just epic. Yes! This is what I'm talking about. Wow. The build-up in the beginning with the violin counter melody and how it all led up to this epic acceleration into the drop. Like, that's perfect. The drop itself was bonkers. It was a badass drop with a great amount of synths and a really epic dubstep beat. Overall, I think this is my favorite so far. Okay, so the last one we have is the Bigkahunas. This is JMP Audio Design for $600. Okay. Oh my god, it's just so much. Wow. I had to be honest. For $600, this could have been better. But it was definitely the best production that I've heard so far. All of the instruments and all of the sounds were super clear and they were really punching through the mix. Alright, so now let's talk about my overall thoughts and final rankings on all of these tracks. First of all, this was a better experience than I could have ever imagined. Some of these producers were simply on fire, while others had elements of greatness, but they could have been so much more. Okay, so the most challenging thing about this exercise was that the piano solo itself was already very intense and dramatic and had a lot of things going on. So that meant the arrangement could not overpower the piano, but it had to add and help it become even more epic. So the three main things I was paying attention to was 1. Does the arrangement synergize with the piano to create something greater? 2. Did the producer do something creative to give us a new sound or a new experience? Or did they just stick to some kind of cliche formula? And 3, were there moments where the sounds used were too much or too little? And sometimes it was painfully obvious that the arrangement just had too much going on. With all of that being said, I'm going to show on the screen my final ranking. So as you guys can see, my number 1 pick was the $300 track by Wily West, but my number 2 pick was the $75 track by Nicholas Chazare. And then the number 3 was the orchestral arrangement for $110 by Philip Kratzer. And then for me, the $600 one is number 4. So overall, what's my conclusion? The first conclusion is that price does not necessarily equal the quality. While it's true that the people charging really inexpensive amounts did not quite hit the mark in terms of their arrangements, after that, it was not a linear progression in terms of how much the price would lead to quality. We could easily see that some of the producers that were charging a lot were not as good as the ones charging less. So my final conclusion is that overall the prices on Fiverr are just much cheaper than what you would typically get from like a big studio producer. If you went to one of these big music studios and asked them for a producer to help you out, it might cost somewhere from $5,000 to $10,000 for a project such as this. And the producers on Fiverr are able to help out for less than $1,000. So there's something for everyone, and you can find a link in the description below. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and if you enjoyed the track, you can also listen on Spotify. The link is in the description below. Thanks for watching.